is what I love talking about. Like, yes, we are in a society now where like personal development and personal growth is $1 billion industry. And it's not to say that it cannot have some type of effect on you, but what it is not going to do, you can spend tens of thousands of dollars on every event and course and book out there. If you are not ready for any of the change and you haven't done the work internally yourself, none of that is going to be able to be applied to your life. And so basically it's washing money down the drain, because there is no one that knows more about you than you. Nobody knows what those hardships, what those pain points, what your goals are, what your opportunities are. And you've got to spend some time to do some self-love therapy. And I'm not saying you have to pay for a therapist, but you got to just spend some time with yourself, moving through and getting very clear on what you want. Then you are a guru of yourself. You're like, okay, I'm very clear on how I'm going to be vulnerable with my story, what I'm going to share in it, what I want to do with it. And then all those tools, the books, courses, and events can help be simply that, tools to help you. But anytime we look to somebody else to fully solve our problems, that's where the kind of wheels fall off the bus, because no one person is going to have every answer that you could ever need to make that change in your life. That really just starts with you. So going into this mindset of like, I'm going to hire a guru to fix all my problems, well, that's just not true. And it's not going to happen, because if you aren't ready to address the problem yourself, there's no change that can be made. So that is why I always say, and like you said, Courtney, I've been in personal development for over 15 years with my job, and I've seen wonderful transformations happen with individuals. However, it started with them finding their own confidence and their own story and their own goals, and then use personal development to help amplify and scale what they want to do.
Exactly. I talk about this in the fact of it's kind of like if you have an addiction problem. No one can put you in rehab. No one can force you to get the help that you need. You have to want it. Yes, you might succeed for 30 days, 60 days in that program. Like you might, but if you don't have it within you to make that change, it's not going to happen. So we can't force these ideas or these concepts of growth down people's throats. You have to want it, and you have to go within to do the work, and then use the books and use the courses and use the events to help guide you and use them as a map along your way. But you really have to get vulnerable with yourself, because I know you said that who knows you best other than you? I would argue some of us don't even know ourselves. So we need to take the time to get to know ourselves.
It's so true. It is so true. And that's the hardest thing. It's so much easier to look outwardly for solutions. And that's why we pay so much for someone else to tell us what to do, because we're scared of just trusting our own thought and intuition. You were made beautifully you, with your own thoughts, your own intuition. And yes, you might need education and tools and resources, but no one knows that gut check better than you. And we've got to stop being afraid of just not going through with it. The worst thing that's going to happen, listen, I've had things that have failed in my life. We all have things that have failed in our lives. The worst thing that's going to do is you will fail, and at some point in your life. However, you then build up the confidence to be like, that's too bad. The world didn't end. I still have my health. Things are still okay. Okay, let's try this again. And you learn something from that. And I know everyone's like, that's easy to say. No, I have failed at businesses. I had a business right out of college. I thought it was a genius business plan. I had it for 2 years. The recession hit, and then I went up in smoke. I had another business. And Courtney, you'll appreciate this, with a dear friend of mine. It was a digital course business for moms returning to the workforce. It was called Modern Maternity Leave. We had everything. We were going to launch 1 week, the last week of March, 1 week before April, and COVID hit. And everybody's returning to the workforce, Courtney. We spent 2 years building this product, and it like literally 2 years, and it went up in smoke. And so that's what I say, guys, like, you will fail, but it is giving me the confidence to find my passion and purpose with what I'm doing today. and trusting my gut in getting here. I think that's what we have to do ultimately, is listen to that inner self.